Hi guys, welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about Alberto Seveso. Hello my digital art students. Congratulations on doing your homework. For those of you watching just for fun, I am Miss Sheena. This is Max. And today, like I said in the beginning, we are talking about Alberto Seveso, an illustrator and photographer living in the UK. He was interested in art from a very young age, initially being fascinated by the art on the bottom of skateboards and the covers for metal bands in the early 90s. Uh, he has worked for many, many very high profile brands, magazines, and books. So, as you can tell from some of Alberto's images, he is a master at high-speed photography. High-speed photography is the science of taking pictures of briefly occurring splashes, explosions, lighting, that sort of thing. It's a science because when done professionally, it requires a very complicated and well-timed setup. In 1948, the Society of Motion Picture and Television Engineers fully recognized this form of photography as its own thing. If you're interested in trying your hand at some basic high-speed photography, all you really need is a digital camera where you can adjust the shutter speed and ISO. I have a pretty good link down in the description if you're interested. Shutter speed is very important when it comes to capturing motion. The faster the shutter speed, the shorter the shutter is open for on the camera. It creates a clean-edged capture of something in motion. Now, if you want a motion blur or something, then you want to use a lower shutter speed. So, if you are using a high shutter speed, you probably want to use a higher ISO. This will compensate for the darkness that would otherwise occur when using the fast shutter. Now, when shooting regularly, you probably want to keep the ISO low. That way you don't end up with a grainy image. Seveso also creates some really cool photo manipulated images using vectors. Vectors are something we'll get into later. It's ultimately math-based curves that can be widely resized because it's not based on pixels. So think about the art you see on billboards and even the art you see in your mobile game. At this point, I would like for you to recognize how Seveso uses his abstract high-speed photography with his portrait manipulations. I think the results are mature and stunning. Now, other than using vectors and his high-speed photography to get these cool overlapping overlaid images, you have to use filters. And filters are things that we have already played with. You can use color dodge, multiply, light and screen, all that good stuff. And remember, you can change those filters as often as you need to, or you can even adjust your levels and those other kind of adjustments before applying those filters so that you achieve these certain kinds of looks. We'll definitely continue to experiment more with that in class. Students, make sure you respond to the email that led you here with at least 3 sentences about Seveso so I can give you all good grades. See you in class!